Welcome to the April garden tour. Come on in and see what a garden in Ontario looks like in April. You can see over here in the distance in the neighbor's cornfield that we have some snow in the area still, and not much is growing. Everything, there's not even leaves on the trees yet. Here in Ontario, we're still just barely coming into spring. We went from bare lawn, we mowed it very short, put down 2 layers of cardboard. We put down 3 inches thick of aged cattle manure that we got from our neighbor. We put down 3 inches of compost that we got from a local company. We had a chip drop come and we put down wood chips in the pathways, and we just kept expanding the beds as we had time. The first bed was made of things that needed to be planted early, and then we just kept, as it came time to transplant, we put in 2 more beds. As it came time to put in more transplants because they were ready or because something didn't transplant well, we put in more beds. And then in the fall, that last bed over there with the sawdust on top, we put that in the fall. It hasn't grown anything yet. So we had corn that grew beautifully, we had tomatoes and peppers, the best crop of tomatoes or peppers I've ever had. We got some onions and some cabbages. Brussels sprouts grew amazing. We had squash on this short bed, but as squash grows, zucchini was incredible. We got a bunch of pepper squash and spaghetti squash as well, and it's done really well for us. We still have a great amount of snow here, and I can't plant anything just yet. The ground is too cold. The threat of frost is too high until May 8th, and we just keep going. This is a separate garden bed. This one we've been using as our fresh eating garden. So the other one was more for preserving. This one is our fresh eating. This garden had peas and carrots and cherry tomatoes, beets, and a few green onions and different things that we were using fresh, salad greens. This bed was also amended with the cattle manure and mushroom compost, but much thinner than what the other one had. We also used chips for the pathways. Over there at the back you can see the water troughs. We used those for our sweet potatoes, and they grew well, they just didn't grow very large. I surrounded this garden with marigolds, and I had all the way around. I had marigolds all the way around. Over there in the corner we have some oregano and lavender, and then in that one watering trough I had calendula, and I didn't cut that stuff off. I'll just go to it and I'll chop it and drop it. Since last year was our first year on this property, we had a lot of gardens to build. This garden was not even a foot wide, so I expanded it to 2.5 and made it my herb bed. We have orange mint, lemongrass, lavender, thyme. I think that was artemisia. And then we had spearmint, stevia, and sage. Looking up close, it looks like this sage is going to survive. Here I have the old cluster of chives, and if you look, they're going to grow well too. They're greening up. I have lavender, and I have some lemon balm. It survived too. Iris has survived. Oh, here's my peppermint. I think we made it. More snow. You might be able to tell why our gardens aren't green yet. Thank you to those who have stuck around to the end. I'm going to now show you what I plan, what my dreams are for this coming season. I don't know how well it shows on camera, but between the camera and that boulder down on the end, there's a bit of a rut where there used to be a road that passed through here. So to the left of this path, I'm going to put in my herb garden for my culinary herbs. I'm just going to expand my gardens every year. And to the right of that boulder, and towards this outcropping of rocks here, I'm going to build a triangle of tea herbs. I don't want the road dust getting into my tea herbs, but I can wash it off of my cooking herbs, that's for sure. Let's go for a walk and look at where else we're putting gardens in. I've walked down the path a little bit towards the other part of our property. Here I have potential for 22,000 square feet of garden. That's half an acre. It runs from where I'm standing to just about the edge of the cornfield over there, and from the right of the camera over to the tree line on the left of the camera. We are considering dividing this into 4 so we can get the tractor down the path in the middle and reach everything easily. Over here on this little hill, I'm going to put in sunflowers and a pumpkin patch, and then I'm going to have my regular garden in the front. We're holding this section over here to the right as potential for a greenhouse. We still have potatoes and onions and tomatoes and peppers and all of the vegetables that we want to grow. We do have some modifications to do. It needs to be tilled, like really well tilled. It's been furrowed a few times. I don't know what the right word is. It's had a tractor go through and dig up big clods of earth. It needs to be tilled just this first time to level it and get those huge chunks of dirt out of it. We also have these 3 mounds of material. We are not sure what's in there. We're hoping it's just dirt that was moved while the portables were put in. They've been there for a long time. There are trees growing out of the top of those. They need to be taken down. We do have hydro lines right here. And directly beneath the hydro lines, we have some trees. These poplar trees have to come out before they become a hazard to the hydro lines. I might as well move them this year over to the edge of our property line between us and the cornfield to delineate our property a little more. We're thinking about getting some fruit trees, maybe some apples and pears, but over there, let me see, over there, we have high water. It's not swamp material, it's not marshland or wetlands, it's just wet ground. And we're thinking about digging a pond there to help divert some of that and allow the other areas to dry a little earlier in the season. Thanks for sticking around, guys. See you next time.